Welcome back. Shaylee Murdough joins me. She had one heck of an athletic career. She just won Female Athlete of the Year and graduated. She's won multiple state championships in different sports. She won Player of the Year in basketball. So a lot of accomplishments. Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's get into the start of it, just like kind of your early interest in sports and how that started at a young age.
Well, I have 3 older siblings, as you probably know, and they've all shown like interest in sports, and my parents have done sports throughout their life too, so it's always been kind of like throughout the family, but I really stuck with like basketball, running. I've had softball for a hot second, because that's what my siblings have done, but it really just started when I was like literally since I could walk. I did like t-ball with my siblings. I did biddy ball. I think it was with Coach Chase at that time. And I started running when I was 5 years old or something like that, with my parents doing like the rockin' race and things like that, because I just always loved being active and everything. And I still do, but it just was really sparked my interest when I was younger.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly helps that I think your dad running all that stuff and then you have your siblings. So it was like that, just having all your siblings be involved, your whole family.
It was really nice. It made me feel like I was kind of like included in everything, especially as the youngest sibling. I wanted to do everything. And it really was nice how my dad was basically a coach for everything, because he's a good role model. He got everyone everywhere, because he just wanted to see us succeed, which was really supportive.
No doubt about that. So let's just get into kind of like middle school and entering high school. Do you have anything from middle school you'd like to share?
I mean, I was like the tri-county champion for like all 3 years, because I started cross country in 6th grade, because I could, thankfully. And so that kind of like sparked my interest of continuing into high school, and the change from middle school to high school is really big. Cause that's injuries happened.
Right.
Freshman year is a little rough. I had shin splints. It really kind of took a toll of what I was going to be able to do that year, but I still was able to be part of the team, varsity, and helped get us to New England's as a team, which was really our first goal that we had.
Yeah, let's just talk about fall sports for a minute. I'll let you go through each of your years and talk about your favorite, memories and experiences.
Well, freshman year, big accomplishments there, just being able to first season of high school at a cross country, and it was anything I could have asked for. We won the state championship for cross and got to go to New England's, placed pretty well at states, got top 10. So honestly, what else could I ask for? And honestly, it was all 4 of us. It was our top 4. We all got in the top 10. So we all got to go to this banquet, this all-state banquet, which was really nice. But then sophomore year, also pretty good. Had a little bit of a rough going with injuries and stuff and like health, but we still won the championship again. Kind of a trend, but didn't get to New England that year, but it was still just a growth year, just trying to get as far as I could and see what I was capable of. And then junior year, a little bit of a rough year, because I sprained my ankle at one of my races, which kind of took a toll because I had to take a couple like weeks off. But we got second at the state meet. Not what we wanted, but can't hurt getting runner up. And still did fine at the state meet, did whatever, just it was rough with injuries and everything. And my health just wasn't top notch. But then senior year, obviously, really good year. Won the state championship, got 3rd at state meet with my teammate Maddie winning, which was amazing. And then we made it to MOC's. MOC's senior year was my favorite race ever. I broke 19 in the 5K, finally, and then we made it to New England's, and we did this Nike Cross regional race later in the season. Really long season, though. It was oh my god, it was so tiring, but it was fun. It was just a whirlwind of emotions because it was my last year doing cross country.
What made you like those races so much?
I think it's just like the competition. You're with all these girls who are just doing the same thing that you're doing, and it kind of just puts you to a test because cross country is different than like other team sports because it's basically you against yourself, and but you're still competing as a team, but it's more pressure kind of on you because you're like, oh, I have to do everything for myself to help the team, I guess. But it was just nice just to be able to go out there and try my best and actually work.
No question about that. 3 championships, that's an incredible career. Do you have anything to say coaching-wise, or just shout out to any of your teammates?
Well, huge shout out to Coach Roth. He was literally like the core of our team because he coached me for all 4 years of cross country and was a huge impact, helped me with basically everything I needed, knew exactly what we all wanted or needed to do to improve, which was amazing. He's an amazing coach. I'm actually going to miss him so much when I go off to college. And then the other shout out just to my teammates, especially Maddie Lane, because she is incredible. Like, she wins basically almost every race, and it's actually insane, and I just can't wait to see what she does in the future.
Yeah, I remember hearing about her last year. I think she was a freshman, and she was just breaking all these records. So
she still is.
Yeah, you guys working together. That's one heck of a run. So let's go into freshman year. You got a unique opportunity to be varsity player as a freshman and play with your older sister, Callie, who was a senior at that point.
Yeah, that was amazing. That's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to play with Callie because my dad was helping coaching, so it's kind of like just us 3 there, which was amazing. And being able to be there with her for her senior year was just a moment that I will always cherish. I mean, it wasn't the season that we always wanted. Got out quarterfinals, I think.
First round Stevens.
Yeah, first round Stevens. Rough. But it was still a fun year. Got to be with her. COVID was a little rough because we still had to wear masks, I remember then. But it was still fun. I'm just so glad I got to do it with Callie.
So was there anything when you were a freshman that was challenging for you because you have all these girls who are older than you and you're kind of learning the offense as a point guard?
The big challenge was just my confidence. I had literally zero confidence because I had my sister ahead of me. I wasn't starting, I don't think, yet. And it was just like when I got on the court, I was like, what am I doing? Because I didn't have like that mindset of like, oh, I can actually go and score until like junior year. Then I actually walked in, I guess. But just the confidence and being able to actually play up to that level. Middle school is so much different than high school. And but it was so nice just to be able to learn from these girls, learn from Coach Roy, and just build up from there, I guess.
What were the key things you learned from Callie?
Just being a leader, really. She was an amazing leader. I know she didn't like score much or tried to score much because she got other opportunities to like pass it to a better shot or things like that. And that really helped me in the later years because I got to be captain my junior and senior year. And it just really helped because I want to be able to make these other girls better and be a leader for them and just help them be better basketball players because that's what we all want, really.
One of the big things that I remember now going into your sophomore year was that game at Kearsarge. That away game, I think it was the last game right before Christmas. Do you remember the one I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
And I think you scored like 20-something. And I think everybody realized at that point, holy crap, Shaylee is really, really good.
Yeah.
Just talk us through that for a minute.
I don't know. I feel like sophomore year, I kind of just like started to realize that I could be good. And because like the team needed me, because injuries, obviously. Our team had so many injuries throughout all 4 years because like I think Hannah Pecci hurt her ankle or Elise hurt I forget what she hurt, but I think she hurt something, or like Maddie Carmichael, and you just needed someone to step up, and that's honestly what I needed to do because the team always needs someone else to step up, and I had to try at least, and I guess it worked out.
So talk us through having Coach Roy those first 2 years and what he was like for you as a coach.
He was amazing. I mean, it really was nice because I had my sister who already had him for the first 4 years, so I kind of knew what I was going to expect when going into high school. But his philosophy was amazing. He knew what we needed to do. He got us to our Final Four my sophomore year, so that was nice. I know it didn't work well at the end, but because we lost, but it was still nice. He was an amazing coach. He really helped me gain my confidence. And he told me, he was like, you know, you are like belong here. You could be out there with these girls. And I really took that to heart and like showed that I can be out there, basically.
So I'll just go through the playoff run for a minute. So first game home for Newfound. Do you want to talk about that game for a minute?
I mean, I can a little bit. I mean, the memory still is a little foggy, I guess. But it was just a nice game. It was nice to be able to play in front of everyone at our home, like home turf, I guess. And just be able to get a win, and be able to go to the next round.
One of my favorite games, second round on the road for Prospect.
Prospect Mountain. That was an amazing game. Me and Elise literally were like both in double digits. We both knew what we had to do. We both really wanted to win that game. And it wasn't that on Coach Roy's birthday, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, it was on Coach Roy's birthday, so we knew we needed to win, for him at least. And it was just like a surreal moment because we're all the way in Prospect Mountain, like an hour away, and we're like, we need to win this game.
And then there was the Conant game, and I know you probably don't want to talk too much about that, but what'd you learn from that?
I learned that I can't just get in my head. I didn't score a single point that game because they shut me down, or I just got in my head and thought like, oh yeah, no, this is just another game. But no, it wasn't. We're against the number 1 seed Conant, who's amazing. And I realized that I can't like expect something to happen. I need to actually put in the work, do what I need to do, and see where it goes from there because I expected too much.
Entering my personal favorite year of your career, your junior year, I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So just to take everybody through, I think losing like 7 seniors, most of them were starters, and then you're entering the year. So you had a couple good fortunes, which was Keegan decides to come back to Hopkinton and play basketball, and she was amazing. And Katie decides to come back to basketball, and both of them were starting, which helped you guys a lot. So you have those two plus you, Liz, and Sid as your starting 5 going into that year. And then all of a sudden, Keegan's hurt, Katie's hurt in a season where you guys were not even expected to be top 4, and you pushed through it. So just talk us through that because you were leading that team at that point.
Well, I'm so grateful for that year. That was an amazing year. I'm so glad I got to play with some of my best friends. It just sucked how we lost 2 of our best players to injuries, and then later on Liz to the basically same injury because all of them with their knees. But it was just amazing. I knew going into it, we're like, oh God, we lost all these seniors. What's going to happen? But definitely having Keegan and Katie come back was a big help. And we kind of like found our groove. Because I remember like the first couple of games, we played like Monadnock away and we won. And we're like, oh wow, we can actually like go against these teams. Like we're fine. I guess then once injury happened after injury, we're like, uh-oh, what is happening? And then I think, oh yeah, that's when I sprained my ankle during a Summersworth game. And then I was out for like 2 games, which was rough. Because I was out for Newport, which they barely won. Thankfully, we needed that game to win. And then I was out for the senior night. Again, none of the seniors could play, which was unfortunate.
That was the most bizarre senior night ever against Mascoma because you had no seniors playing in the actual senior game because everybody was hurt. And also that Mascoma game was meaningless because we were already locked into a top 2 seed, and the St. Thomas game would decide who was 1 and who was 2 later in the week. And then St. Thomas, we weren't 100% healthy.
No,
obviously.
yeah, because I had to, I remember going to like the athletic trainer at St. Thomas, and I needed my ankle tape, and she goes, are you sure you're supposed to play on this? Because it's like black and like purple and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. That game was rough, but in the end, we made it to the championship, which was nice. So
how'd you just secure the top 2 seed in a bye with all this stuff going on?
I think it's just the people that stepped up. Like, Helen stepped up, Zoe, Paige, they all made a significant impact. And like, even Avery Chase as like a freshman, I think. Yeah, she was a freshman. It was just amazing to see like how people can step up and take charge when we're down, which was really nice. It was just like those key games that we needed, like the Newport game, that was a need. And then some games before that were kind of like easy, but like they still weren't easy enough that we're just going to blow by them. We need to like stay in it.
Second round, first round bye, second round home against Monadnock. They had gone through a lot that year, but they were a tough team. Do you want to talk about that game for a second?
Yeah, no, that was an amazing game. I mean, we knew we had to like fully just like crank down. Like they knew they were coming for us. Because I know they just lost like their coach, and it was just like an emotional ride for them. But we were like, we can't like let that get in our head. We need to like lock in, get what we need to do, and get to like that next round. And thankfully we did. That was such a stressful game, but once we kind of like started playing how we were supposed to play, it worked out.
I'm sorry, I'm going to make you talk about the Winnisquam game for a minute.
I love the Winnisquam game,
okay.
actually, yeah.
So that game was pretty fun.
Yeah.
You guys, you were up against Lauren McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, you two were like up for player of the year.
Basically,
so
yeah.
You guys were clearly the best two in the division at that point. And I think you guys were generally considered to win by like 4 or 5, and you won by like 20 points or something. And that was the game that Liz got hurt in. So, just talk about that game, because I remember, being in the locker room with you at halftime, and you're like, guys, we're like halfway through this game to a championship. Let's go. Let's not let our foot off the gas.
Yeah, that was basically like the whole mentality. We have to keep going. I know like Liz's, injury really scared basically everyone. It scared me. And I was like, oh God, what's going to happen now? But exactly, people stepped up. People, just knew what they had to do. I mean, I had a good game. I mean, I scored, I think, over 20 or something. But it wasn't just that. It was other people that made the significant impact. Like, we had some key shots from like Paige and like Helen and even like Avery Chase, Zoe, just like those little step ups, just like got the momentum going, and we needed that, especially once Liz got down and we're like, oh God.
Yeah.
A little rough.
But that crowd was so loud with
amazing.
Avery dribbling the ball out at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And your new coach taking you to the championship.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll let you discuss that for a second. Coach Mahoney, go from Roy retiring to Mahoney. What was that transition like?
I was a little scared, because we had summer league with him. I didn't completely agree with all of his things that he was doing for us, but in the end, I'm so glad he got to coach me for 2 years. It was an amazing ride. I wouldn't trade it for literally anything. He's an amazing coach. I'm excited to see how he does with the rest of the program in these upcoming years, because being able to bring that team from losing 7 seniors and then losing our coach to a championship, that's pretty incredible. He deserves that coach of the year.
Well, somebody else deserves player of the year that year for that too. So you won that award. I'm sorry, we got to talk about it.
Fair.
Team.
Yeah.
I gotta say, even though things went the way that it did, it still was one incredible run for that year and that team. I think that meant a lot to all of us, just how far you were able to make it. And then one of my favorite Shaylee moments was in that game where it was like, nothing's working. We're not scoring. We were doing good in the first quarter. Now we couldn't shoot in the second quarter. It's the second half. And, you're just like, I could see from the bench, you were like looking, nobody's open. And then you were 30 feet out or something, and you're like, you know what? And it just sinks in, and we're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I did not think that was going in. I didn't even realize how far back I was. I just like hucked it up there. Like, please go in. Cause that really tried to start the momentum. We kind of got back into like maybe single digits, but it was really the second quarter that blew it out. Me and my dad always talk about it. Even like now, where it's like, oh my God, that second quarter. Because we could not score for the life of us. It was awful. But hey, it was a learning experience. We knew we could get there. Even like this next, like my senior year, we knew we could get there. But it was just the mentality. Since we knew that 3 of our starters were down, I feel like the morale was just so low, and we're like, am we actually going to win this? Like, can we actually win this? And I'm like, oh God, guys. It was a little rough.
Right. But player of the year, what'd that mean to you, and were you surprised?
I was pretty surprised. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, oh, wow. Because there's still so many amazing girls that are out there, that could have gone as well. But it was just really like showed to me that I was like, oh wow, I can actually like play up to this level. Like, I know plenty other girls would want that award, and I know it kind of put a little stress on like senior years, like, oh God, I need to get this award again, but I tried to weed off that. But it was just so nice to be able to be honored for that and be able to be next to coach for coach of the year and just see kind of where that would take me. I know I'm not doing it in college, but
yeah, well, we could get to that in a minute, but entering your senior year, like, You had two of your best friends, I know, Liz and Katie, both going away. Can you talk about like summer league and kind of like, okay, I got 1 year left. I want to make the best I can of this, but it's too bad that some of my friends are not going to be here.
Summer league was fun. I kind of just made what I wanted of it, trying to do what I could for the team and everything, because I knew it was going to be like another building year because we lost a couple of our best players. But it was really just like, oh wow, we have some freshmen coming up, got LMA, we have the twins. It was just like nice to see like where their place could be with the team. And still people stepped up, had new people come in, maybe not for the varsity, but it was still just nice to be able to be with a big team because so many people went to summer league games. But it was nice to be with them and be able to see what they could all do and just be able to try to like lead them to be part of the program and everything.
I'll let you talk about what you want for senior year, and then at the end I want to talk about senior game and just kind of the whole like you're the last Murdough from Hopkinton.
Well, senior year was amazing. I mean, definitely some ups and downs. We probably should have won a couple of games at the end, even the beginning, but it was a hard year. We started losing some girls at the end because Paige hurt her knee, Helen like broke her thumb, and it was just like, it was chaos. It was like basically like a fever dream because of last year, because of Katie and Keegan, because just obviously our two starters have to get injured. But I mean, it all worked out in the end. I mean, we still got to quarterfinals, won big in Berlin with me and Sid's thank God it went in. Buzzer beater. Yeah. And then going to St. Thomas, we knew it was gonna be rough. We knew it was gonna be a really hard game, but we had amazing support. Everyone came. We had like more fans than literally St. Thomas. It was amazing. The support from like the boys and just like everyone that came out was just amazing. And honestly, that game was probably my favorite game, even though we lost and it was terrible because I fouled out, of course. But I still had one of my best games, scored like 30 points, got to spend my last like game just leaving it all on the floor with all my fouls, I guess. You know, I don't agree with most of them, but it's okay. But just being able to play with like that energy from the crowd was just surreal. I really liked it.
So your dad was an assistant coach for you. You had 3 siblings come through the basketball program and graduate ahead of you. I just wanted you to talk for a minute about the significance of all of that.
Oh, it's amazing. I love seeing up there at like the wall, seeing an S Murdough, then a K Murdough, or just like underneath like the boys basketball and girls basketball, and my brothers were playing because I think they got to play together, maybe a little bit, but it was just, it's so nice to be able to have like that little community inside our own community of just the love for basketball, because it's really an amazing sport, and all of us knew that it was, because Shepard still kind of does it, even though he like hurt his ankle, but Kale wasn't the best at it, but he knows he isn't.
Shots fired.
And then Callie, just being able to play with her was amazing, and having our dad just there for every step of the way was just an amazing experience, and just being able to play just like 1v1 with all of them just at a random time. It's just, it's so nice.
So, last thing I want to ask you, in terms of basketball is you had some great friends on other teams who you had rivalry games. There was obviously, Ava versus Shaylee with Kearsarge, and then there was Shaylee versus Shaylee with Monadnock. I want you to talk about that for a minute if you want.
I love how I have like these little friendships with other teams, because it's just so nice going to like a place and not having to be completely stressed out that playing a whole different team, because I know who's on it, because I remember going to my first Monadnock game freshman year, and I realized there was another Shaylee, same spelling. I'm like, whoa, what? So like that kind of sparked like the friendship, and I was like, oh my god, we have the same name, like, hey, name twin, like that's amazing. And just like with Ava and Kearsarge, I know it's like big rivalry with Hopkinton and Kearsarge, but being able to see like a familiar face on the other team, even though we're up on each other, like guarding each other and everything, but it's just nice. Because at the end of the day, you're still friends, normally. But you are. Like, I still talk to Ava, even though they beat us in the championship game, but like, it's a game. I mean, friendships last so much longer than the sport, I guess, sometimes. But it's just nice to be able to know these people and see how they go in this future, because they're all going some way. And it's really cool.
Spring?
Oh, spring. Well, I started softball my freshman year, so I got to play with my sister again, which was kind of like my big thing that I really wanted. Everyone told me I should do track, but I kind of held my place that year at least and did softball with Callie. And it was an amazing year. Got to like start being a shortstop, and I love softball. It was one of my favorite sports, but just kind of took a toll on me, I guess, as I grew up. But we went pretty far-ish. Not really. We went to like quarterfinals, but we lost like Campbell on the road. We should have won that game, but it's fine. But it was a nice sport to be able to play with my sister, because team sports are just amazing, and being able to be with her again was amazing, I guess, again.
I remember the start of your sophomore year, you were very on the fence between those two sports.
It was
just talk us through your decision making with that.
I think a big one was just that I knew I was going to probably want to do running in college. And I knew I was going to be coached by Coach Roth again, and I love him as a coach. And I knew some of the girls that were doing it as well. And I was like, I know I can probably do this. I know Missouri might hate me, but at the end I was just like, what do I really want? And I did choose track, which was probably, I hate to say it, but probably one of the best decisions I made, because I fell in love with it. I know running in circles might not seem the best to people, and my parent, especially my dad, was like, oh, I have to stay at a track meet for like 3 hours. But my mom supported it, they both supported it, and they knew that I wanted to keep running, so it was just an interesting change, because I remember going to my first track meet, because I did track when I was like in like first grade,
Okay.
with like Hershey track with Coach Sable, but doing it in high school is much different, because I did not know where I stood.
Okay. That's a good point.
Because I did like my first race, and I was like, am I supposed to be going this fast, or am I going too slow? But now, like, senior year, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I know how to run this race. And I know where, like, I kind of stand. Sophomore year was a little rough, but I got better as I went on.
Okay, so just talk a little bit about some of the injuries that you had to deal with during that time.
Big thing is just shin splints. I never really, like, fully recovered from, I guess, freshman year for cross country. And I always had trouble during, like, summer training, and then the switch over from basketball to track was also pretty bad, because basketball I don't really run that much except running up and down the court. And it's just hard to, like, kind of adjust to that. But senior year, even kind of junior year a little bit, I started doing, like, strength training, actually, like, took care of myself, and I haven't had an injury this entire track season, which was a literal blessing, because I hate injuries, because they take so much of my body. But it was a little rough. No ankle sprains this year, thankfully. But it's just tough with injuries. Whenever I get one, I'm like, oh my god, of course I have an injury.
Won multiple state championships though.
Yeah. So junior and senior year, we won as a team for track, which is very hard because we're a really distant, dominated team. But we had some field people and jumpers like Grace Hall last year, and Zoe both years. It was just really nice to be able to see how everything can connect a little bit. And then this year I was actually the 800-meter state champion for Division III, which was
awesome,
nice.
Yeah.
And then for the past 3 years, we've been the 4x8 state champion. So it's kind of nice.
Anything else you want to add for that?
I guess just the big thing that is this year that we got our 4x8 school record, which was nice. Me, Reese, Sophia, and Maddie. So that was a big accomplishment that we wanted to get.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a female athlete of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Liz was able to make it, but Callie was. So Callie presenting you the award, so she won it 3 years ago, her senior year, and then she got to present it to you. What would that mean?
That meant a lot. It would be cool to have Liz to present it to me too, because we're such good friends, but having my sister be able to present it to me was literally just amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better person to present it with. And when I heard that she was presenting, I was like, oh god, it better be me. It better be me. If she's presenting with someone else, I'm gonna cry. but it was just amazing. It's nice to be able to know that me and her have gotten it, and that I kind of like the sister Myrtle legacy-ish can be like on the wall, and people can see that, oh, they're sisters, they won it, like, and that's kind of nice.
I think that's very cool. So college, you had some decisions to make, obviously. I was kind of hoping to see you playing basketball, but it's whatever you want to do. And I think you already had one heck of a career with basketball. So what was that process like of deciding if you wanted to play sports or not? Basketball, track, cross country, where you wanted to go with that?
Well, I really wanted to do Division I running, and I got like an offer from Bryant University, but when I visited, I didn't feel like at home there. And then I took some tours down in like Virginia, but they were like big D1 schools, so I probably wouldn't be able to run there. But then when I went on a visit to Denison, I was like, oh wow, this place is really nice, even though it's kind of in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, but, and it's a smaller D3 school, but I was just like, oh wow, I feel like I can make a difference here, especially with running, especially just with the career I want to go into. And that kind of sold me, being able to make a difference, because I hope that I made a difference at Hopkinton, so I kind of want to carry that over. And being able to run is just amazing. I love running, and I'm excited to do it for 4 more years.
Well, good luck with it. You want to talk about what you're going to study?
I'm going to be doing exercise science. So at Denison, they have like this HES program, so it's health, exercise, and sports studies. So I'm really excited to go into that because we don't really have much of that at Hopkinton.
Where do you think you're going to be after graduation, career-wise? Is there any chance we'll see you as a college coach one day?
Oh, that would be kind of cool. I mean, I was always planning on maybe doing like a physical therapist for like an athletic team, or like even an athletic trainer for an athletic team. But it kind of decides on if I actually like the classes or not when I go.
Right.
So we'll see. I hope so. I'm excited just because I always want to stay in the sports even once I'm done with my college career, because I've always need to be in sports.
Yeah. Well, you've done a good job with it. Any advice for anybody out there who's younger and is listening?
Definitely just stay true to like who you are, because I know growing up I wasn't sure if I was going to stay in sports, go do this, go do that, but always just stay true to yourself, and always work hard. Always work hard. That's how you'll get better. That's how you'll succeed. Even though if you have like failures or like steps in the way, you can always overcome them. There's just steps to a better path. So I really hope people take that.
All right. Thank you so much, Shaylee. I appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you so much.
Please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out a bunch and is completely free. Thank you.